New crime stats from the FBI show the impact of the FBI's partnership with federal, state, and local law enforcement as violent crime rises. They admit there is still work to be done. Last year in San Antonio, task forces arrested 220 violent and drug trafficking offenders. The authorities seized 164 guns. Closer to the border, 560 arrests and 380 weapons were taken off the street. There are 400 active cases against criminal groups. The director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, gave those numbers to KENS 5. He was in San Antonio meeting with his agents and emergency response leaders. Marvin Hurst was there as he addressed everything from human trafficking to the raid at Congressman Henry Cuellar's home and office.
Director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, shook hands with law enforcement partners and first response leaders, then got down to business. Issue number one is violent crime.
It's the first thing I hear about from chiefs and sheriffs all over the country when I visit. It's the first thing I hear about from the community when I talk to them. And it is a real problem, and it needs to be addressed.
Violence like the mass shooting in Nashville at a school, Sutherland Springs at a church, or Uvalde. The place where nearly a year later, not a day goes by that the 21 lost at Robb Elementary don't get remembered.
For law enforcement, our most fundamental duty to make sure that people can live their lives free from fear, and that includes, in particular, being able to send their kids to school free from fear.
He says the FBI is often in a role of investigative support for mass shootings. That may be the same when it comes to human trafficking cases, too.
We have task forces that focus specifically on human trafficking and child exploitation, really all over the country, including in all of our border field offices.
He says there are some cases where the Bureau is on the front line.
We focus in particular, just by necessity, which tells you something about the scale of the problem, on sex trafficking and on the trafficking of children.
The FBI executed search warrants at Congressman Henry Cuellar's home and office in Laredo more than a year ago. Cuellar maintains innocence. Here's Wray's response when I asked for details on the raid.
I understand the question, and I appreciate your effort to try to make sure that the facts are accurate. What I would tell you is that I can't speak to, and I don't think it would be appropriate for me to discuss who we are or are not investigating and what we might or might not be investigating them for. That's just not how we do things, especially in the context of ongoing investigations.
When questioned about lengthy public corruption case investigations overall, the 56-year-old says no person in power gets favors from the FBI.
I can assure you that political considerations or worrying about what somebody may think about one of our investigations is absolutely not a consideration. My instructions to our people have been that we're going to follow the facts wherever they lead, no matter where they lead, no matter who likes it.
Marvin Hurst, KENS 5.